Yes, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome to the Sanderson Show. Did Cejudo quit on purpose? Ankalaev has a chilling message for Alex Pereira. Pun intended. You'll see why if you stick around. We look at some of the results and some of the standout fights from UFC Seattle, which was a banger card, and also Dana White explains his stance on the champ situation. Sit back, relax. It's MMA Monday live. This is Sanderson Show. Let's talk about it. Yes, people, I hope you're well. Welcome back to the show. Please do smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And let's talk about Henry Cejudo, the Olympic champion, the former flyweight champion or former bantamweight champion. Took on Song Yadong in his latest fight and came up short again. The fight was stopped early due to eye pokes, went to decision, and obviously Song Yadong got the victory given his dominance in the first 3 rounds. This represents Henry's third loss in a row. He lost previously to Aljamain Sterling in their title fight, then Merab, and now Song Yadong. And many people have been calling for Henry to retire before this fight, and even more so after this fight. However, the main topic and talk of conversation at the moment is whether or not did Henry Cejudo quit on himself during that fight, which wasn't going his way. The answer to that question is only he knows. I don't think you become an Olympic champion and 2-weight world champion in UFC if you're a quitter. Personally, I think Henry Cejudo would have always backed himself to win. He fought Merab with a torn groin. Look, don't get me wrong. I know Henry Cejudo splits opinions. He frustrates people. Some people don't like his MMA takes. He's corny. He can be cringy. I get it. But if we're going to start sitting here and calling Henry Cejudo a quitter, I kind of don't know what we're doing here. If there's anyone that represents someone that doesn't quit, it's Henry Cejudo. You don't become an Olympic champion by being a quitter. You don't become a 2-weight world champion by becoming a quitter. If Henry Cejudo stopped this fight or said he couldn't see, I genuinely believe him. And I'm not even sitting there saying I'm some massive Henry Cejudo fan. I respect what he's done in his sport. I wouldn't say I'm his biggest fan. I don't dislike him. I wouldn't say I'm his biggest fan, so I have no reason to be biased on this. He is not a quitter. I've been poked in the eye before. It's not pretty, guys. I've, touch wood, never been in a fight and been poked in the eye, which must be even worse. We saw Izzy a couple weeks ago get poked in the eye, try and brush it off, and then a couple seconds later, he's face down on the canvas. Getting eye poked is no joke. We saw Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards the first time get eye poked, and he's screaming in the octagon. These are tough, strong fighters who scream when they get poked in the eye. It's a horrible feeling. I genuinely believe if Henry Cejudo could have continued that fight and could see out of his eye, I think he would have continued that fight. Now, do I think he should get a rematch? One hand says yes because of the way the fight was stopped. But on the other hand, I say no because he was losing that fight quite comfortably. Song Yadong was having his way in the fight. But if it's a 5-round fight, anything could have happened in those last 2 rounds. So, look, I don't think the UFC revisit that. I think Henry Cejudo should take a step back and fight fighters lower down in the rankings, personally. But we haven't really got answers as to what Henry's going to do next. I mean, if he had lost this fight in his eyes comprehensively, the rumors were that he would retire. If he had won, then he'd make another run at the title. Neither of those things really happened. I know he's got a loss on his resume, but you wouldn't say it was a real loss, like, because it was stopped early because of the eye poke. I think we see Henry fight one more time. I just don't know who. But I will chop that up. And if you follow me on social media, every Monday after a big event like this, I usually do an MMA matchmaker Monday. So we'll see who I match Henry Cejudo up with next. But a really good win for Son Yadong, and I'm excited to see what he does next too. So we'll see. On the rest of the card, the UFC Seattle card, what a card, man. It was a banger of a card. And for me, the two standout results are John Silver from the Fighting Nerds, and also Anthony Fluffy Hernandez gets another win. Tell you, Hernandez is going to be a problem for the middleweights, man. He's relentless. He really is relentless. And to beat Brendan Allen is a hell of a scout. Anthony's looking good, man. Against Michel Pereira, he battered him from pillar to post. And his fight again looked really good. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Fluffy Hernandez next. Looks really, really good. But John Silver, man, stole the show for me on the main card, if you ask me. Viral moment, viral knockout. He just had swag in there, and the call out as well. Called out Bryce Mitchell, and they've had a little bit of a back and forth. I'll actually let you know what they said to each other. I'll read it out for you guys. So Bryce Mitchell said, "There's only one Lord, and it ain't you, fool. You need a country ass whooping. It will humble you just right." John De Silva says, okay, but I'm going to beat you until you see the earth is round. Nice little back and forth brewing already. I like it, man. I do like it. And I like the fight. I'm going to just double check, see where Bryce is ranked at the moment. Because if this fight happens, and John Silver is able to get the win, Bryce is currently ranked number 13. I'm surprised he's that low down, actually. But he's ranked number 13 at the moment. That will get him into the top 15 comfortably. And then from there, as we've seen already, he's a very fun fighter. So that could be a fight for anyone in that top 15, should he get past Bryce Mitchell. But that's a fight I'd like to see. Obviously, spoiler alert, I'll be mentioning that on Matchmaker Monday, which I do on social media. On to Poatan Alex Pereira. I said earlier that Ankalaev had a chilling message for Alex Pereira, and it's because Alex Pereira has been training out in the snow. I do want to show you the video, but I'm too scared to show any videos simply because I've been hit with copyrights left, right, and center recently, and I just don't want to attract the attention of YouTube and Google at the moment. That being said, he is training outside in the snow with Glover Teixeira, doing some wrestling training, and Ankalaev commented saying, "Be ready to do this for 25 minutes. Very interesting post from Ankalaev, because Ankalaev has, for the most part, been saying this is going to be a stand-up fight and I'm going to knock Pereira out. I'm not scared to stand with Pereira. I'm going to knock him out." Could this be mind games, or could this be Ankalaev just having a change of heart and thinking, well, why should I go and stand in there with an elite kickboxer and get knocked out rather than mixing in my martial arts, MMA, the hints in the name? Ankalaev, to win this fight, has to wrestle, or he has to have the threat of wrestling. If he doesn't have a threat of wrestling and he doesn't wrestle Pereira, he's going to get knocked out. It's inevitable. It's what Pereira does. If he decides to go in there and have a straight Muay Thai / kickboxing bout with Alex Pereira, 2 rounds. I'll give it 2 rounds. First couple of minutes, Alex Pereira figures him out. After that, it's just how long or how much of an endurance does Ankalaev have, and I think he'll get KO'd. I think he'll get pieced up. Pereira will start sitting down in his punches, and it's not going to be pretty. But I do like the message from Ankalaev. It just puts that seed of doubt in Alex Pereira's mind. Is he going to wrestle? Is he not? I don't think Alex Pereira is silly either. I think he knows Ankalaev is going to have to wrestle. I think he knows anyone who he fights is going to add some sort of grappling in it, apart from Khalil Roundtree Jr. But even him, who's a massive friend of Rampage Jackson even said you should have missed in your wrestling. Should have missed in some takedowns. That's how you beat Pereira, man. Unless you're Izzy and just catch him with that Hail Mary. But Izzy's done that before, and Izzy's also an elite kickboxer. They're in elite kickboxers in the light heavyweight division. And now on to Dana White. Had a little bit to say about the whole champ situation. And this is what he had to say about it. If there's a guy who thinks he can do it and thinks he can defend both belts and has accomplished all these great things, I would have no problem with it. But you're going to be busy. I hear it. I hear it. Dana's got every right to say this. Sorry about that. Michael, still feeling rough, bro. Can't lie. Still sounding bunged up. Still sinuses still killing me. Sorry about that. As I was saying about what Dana White was saying, you look at the champ situation. Conor McGregor was the first champ. Never defended either belt. Amanda Nunes did defend both belts. Credit to her. Daniel Cormier didn't defend the light heavyweight belt after he won the heavyweight belt. If I'm not mistaken, I'm almost certain he didn't. Then you've got Cejudo, never went back down to flyweight apart from, hold on, did he? No. He went, no, he didn't. Didn't go back down to flyweight once he won the bantamweight. He defended the flyweight against TJ, then went up and fought Marlon Moraes for the bantamweight, never went back down. Who else have you had since then? GSP. Obviously, technically wasn't the champ at the time, but he never defended 185. Fighters don't tend to want to drop back down to their original weight class before going up and winning champ status. I think Volkanovski would have. I think Holloway would have. But I don't think Topuria would if he did it. Topuria's spoken about the weight cut. He wouldn't have gone back down. So if that's the case, you're better off vacating the belt and moving up and doing what you want to do. John Jones vacated the light heavyweight and went up to win the heavyweight title. I fully agree with Dana here. I like the idea of champ if said person is going to defend the belt at the low weight class, but if they're not, and you get a hint that they're not, by all means, don't do it. I rate it from Dana White. I think it's ballsy, and I think it's the right move for the rest of the organization. It sets a good precedent. So I'm happy he's done that. But people, I'm going to wrap up there. If you haven't already, smash that like button. On the road to 5,000 subs. I'm about 20 away. So if you haven't subbed to the channel already on YouTube, please do. I'd be greatly appreciative. And tomorrow, with Luke and Jay, got Combat Catch Up in the late evening, and also should have a special show coming out for you guys, a new series that I'm starting. But you got to tune into Combat Catch Up, and I'll give you some more information on that. So people, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Till I see you again, have a fantastic day. This is Sanderson Show, and I'm out, people. Take care.